If you had to emulate, if you had to adapt the persona, not the style, the persona of any of the cruiserweight fighters or champions prior to your existence, which one of those cruiserweight champions or personas that you would like to take on?
I would put Evander Holyfield up there somewhere.
Why?
Up there. Because I like his Evander's, you know, he a lot of people didn't like his fighting style. A lot of people did. But one thing I always noticed about Evander, no matter who he was in there with, he was still determined to win, mentally. I look at the mental strength of the man, you know, and I think boxing is one sport, if not any other, that you can see the mental strength of a man once you get in it. And I believe a man is called a man by the things he go through and the mentalness of it that he get over. And you can see somebody in the basketball court, you can't tell the mentalness of them because they can easily call timeout, sit on the bench. But boxing is one of them things, it's a sport where you could tell the mentalness of a man once he in it. And regardless of whatever Holyfield did, whatever crazy stuff he did, they say he headbutted whatever he did outside the ring. But the mentalness of Holyfield, he got a strong mentalness about him that I like.
What are your greatest fears as a professional boxer?
Greatest fear as a personal professional boxer is to actually have one.
Pardon me?
Is to actually have one.
Okay, all right. Going forward in boxing, you're facing this, your opponent tomorrow night. I don't know the man's name, but he seems to be a rugged guy, you know. You don't know anything about him. You don't have any films. You haven't had time to study films. So you're going in with a complete champion's attitude that you can take this guy, that you're prepared for anything that he might bring to you.
Yeah, correct.
Are you expecting to stop him?
I'm expecting so, yes. But I'm not going out gunning for it. You know, when it comes, I'll take it as it comes.
That's your mindset going in?
That's my mindset going in. But I'm, as
so
always,
you're playing it basically by ear with this guy because you don't know his style?
Sometimes you have to, you know. You go in there one plan, that plan don't work, and you have a creep without a paddle. Your
place in history, are you motivated just by making money, or are you trying to make an impact on boxing to influence those to come after you, the young people to come after you that's in boxing? Because my feeling is that as long as there's poor people, as long as there's uneducated people, as long as there's proud people, there's going to be fights. So your position in boxing is to make money or to leave a legacy, to leave an impression on the sport, you know, going into the Hall of Fame or what have you. What would you like for your legacy to be in the sport?
My dream is to have a legacy that, you know, that I set a place in history. That when my children's children open their history books and they want to write an autobiography about a person from sports, they could look up Jonathan Banks' name and see the things that he did in the sport, to see the things that what he put his body through just for the people that was coming behind him. So my dream is to set a legacy in this sport instead of setting a dollar sign.
What do you think your greatest assets are during the training process, when you're in the training camp? What do you think your greatest assets are? Or what do you think your greatest assets are, and what do you think the greatest assets that are available to you inside of a training camp going into any fight?
Yeah, well, right now my greatest asset to me is, like I said, my mental strength. I'm able to know stuff and keep going. And right now, specifically, my greatest assets is being in camp with the heavyweight champion of the world. I mean, many people don't get this privilege, and to constantly be in camp with them, I believe is a great asset to my career.
What is the relationship between you and Emmanuel Stewart at this time, and what is the relationship between you and the assistant trainer, James Ali Bashir, at this time?
At this time, the relationship with me and Emmanuel, as far as the relationship as a training manager, which is a good relationship, and the relationship with me and assistant trainer to the heavyweight champion of the world, James Ali Bashir, you know, I feel it couldn't be a better one, you know. It's like we're all like a family.
Do you think you have benefits by Emmanuel being your chief trainer and him, Ali Bashir, being your assistant trainer? Do you think that there is some benefit in that for you?
I believe so.
Going into future fights?
I believe so.
And if so, what are they?
I believe so. One, you know, a lot of times when you call somebody a chief trainer, they're not around all the time because they have other things to do. And then the assistant trainer is always there, which is good. You know, I always believe two heads is better than one.
Meaning that whatever chief trainer misses, the assistant trainer is supposed to back him up on that.
Right, and whatever the assistant trainer don't have or don't see at this particular time, the chief trainer will see at that particular time.
So there's a combination of the years, the wisdom.
Correct. It's all the knowledge gathered up in the one bowl, and you can't miss out on something like that.
If, hypothetically speaking, you lost this fight, where would that leave you mentally?
Mentally, it would leave me with a loss on my record. Mentally. But I won't have no doubts about my ability to do what I have to do.
When do you expect to fight for the championship of the world?
I expect to fight for it. Well, I'm pushing for the end of the year, but if necessary, I have to wait till the beginning of next year. But I'm definitely pushing for this year.
This might be the beginning of your career. And in saying that, the beginning of your active career, because you have not been that active. Do you want to take on the quality opponents at this point in your career? Do you want to fight them now?
Yeah, I do. I fight anybody,
so you do believe that you're prepared to fight them now?
I do believe so.
What is your feelings when you go in and blow a guy out 1 or 2 rounds?
Well, it happens sometimes. Caught him early. I still don't underestimate the guy.
Right.
You know? But sometimes you catch dudes early and they go. Just like sometimes I can be caught early and I can go. It's all the same.
So anybody in the top 10 now is just another guy like you. That's what you're saying?
Correct.
And you're prepared to take them on?
Correct. They breathe the same air I breathe. I'll fight any of them.
Do you express that to your trainer and manager, Emmanuel Stewart?
Yeah. Every time I get a chance to.
That you're prepared to take on the top 10 now? You ready to take on the champs?
Yes, sir.
Good luck in your fight tomorrow night, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.